Hi, my name is Bridget Dugan. I'm with the Peninsula Regional Animal Shelter. I am the Marketing Adoption Coordinator, and I have with me here today Lenny Liebert, who is our Volunteer and Animal Behaviorist Coordinator at the shelter. To lead into the other part of your position, which is Volunteer Coordinator, we did touch on fostering, but what other levels of volunteer are available for people that maybe are interested?
Volunteers can do a number of things with us, and we're quickly and trying to expand that even more. But the day-to-day stuff we really need help with. Some people don't want to deal with the animals. We can have guests that can help, volunteers that can help us with guest services, adoption procedures, clerical. Some folks are good at fix-it-up. We have inventory, we have restocking, we have things like that. We ask all volunteers to learn to do dishes and laundry just because we feed twice a day, and we try to give blankies, and we have, you know, hundreds of animals at a time. Doing fosters, being able to take animals home, dog walking, cat socializing. And one of the things that you do is with the events, doing adoption events. Is a great way to let the community know that we're around, as well as showcase animals outside of the shelter, and volunteers participate in that. And then we're going to look at moving them on to maybe doing animal personality tests with us later on. I'd love to teach them to do some basic training to help animals show better, but there's a world of things that they can help with. They can make things for us as well.
And one thing that's been very valuable to me in my position is having them, of course, for events, helping with my social media, taking fantastic pictures.
Yes, picture taking.
And capturing an animal outside of that kennel so they don't look so sad, and having them see their personality come out. It's so helpful in adoption.
Absolutely, and then having all of those pictures on our Patango pages really helps people want to come in and see them. And so being able to take pictures, that's a skill in itself, really.
How would somebody go about applying and getting involved with the first steps of volunteering?
The easiest thing is to go to our website, peninsulaanimalshelter.com, and there's a place that says volunteers, and if you click on that link, it's going to take you to the My Volunteer page, and there you can set up an account and apply. So you're going to apply online, it's going to submit to me. I'm going to review your application, and once it's accepted, we're going to move into where you could schedule yourself. All volunteers go through new volunteer orientation. That's important. And all volunteers must go through a criminal background check. Once that happens, then your status in Volunteer Impact is going to change again, and you're going to sign up for your first shifts. And then we'll move on from there and getting them scheduled to do the types of activities that they're interested in doing. A lot of the training right now is on the job. You learn as you go. We have a couple of formal trainings. One is the basic dog handling class for dog walkers and weekend warriors, and the foster training class that Amy does. But as this program, the Volunteer Impact program, goes further, we're looking to have not only more formal classes inside the shelter that you can attend, but we're going to be able to do some of the training and reading through that program. They'll be able to do it online.
Thank you, Lenny, for all that wonderful information on our volunteer and animal behavior program. And next we have Michael Bowman, who is one of our shelter volunteers. Thank you so much, Michael, for being here.
Thanks for having me.
So what is it that you do at the shelter exactly?
Oh my gosh, I've been able to do so much at the shelter. It's been nice. Mostly the biggest thing that I do there is I walk the dogs. I do some kennel attending. We have other dog walkers there at the shelter, so I make sure that the kennels are kind of tidy and clean and accident free, so it's kind of presentable for the customers that come in. I've attended some of the adoption events, about 2 or 3 of them so far, and as a dog handler, and that's pretty much what I do.
And for the most part, you get to schedule your own hours to fit around your work schedule, your lifestyle, so there's some flexibility there.
Yes, there's tons of flexibility. If I want to come in and volunteer, and as long as I give maybe like a 1 or 2 day like heads up, like, hey, I want to come in from this time to do some dog walking, is that okay? Normally I will get a reply back and saying, yes, that's good, come on in.
So what brought you into the shelter to begin with?
It was inspired by my wife. We were sitting around and we were talking, and she says, hey, let's do some volunteering together in the community. What's something that we can do? And I was just kind of like, I just want to go to work and come home and just kind of veg out. But she says, "Oh, come on, let's do something. We'll do something together." It's like, okay, let's do it. And so she did her research around the community and came across the Peninsula Regional Animal Shelter, and we did do the application process. We went through the new volunteer orientation, and from that point, I was hooked.
And what's awesome about your wife, Reagan, is she uses her skills with sewing to help us at the facility. So just if you don't think you have something that might be useful at the shelter, you might actually have something that's very useful. And every little bit counts. It's all impactful on the shelter and each and every animal that is in the facility.
Yes, from washing the bowls, doing the laundry, walking, feeding, even helping to be at a kennel attendant and cleaning around. It is beneficial for the staff, but it's also beneficial for the animals as well. And they, who wants to lay around in their own mess? When you have a volunteer come in and clean it out, it makes it much more comfortable even for the animals.
How would you say that your time at the shelter is helpful for the enrichment of the animals to make them more adoptable?
The enrichment part is great because sometimes the staff isn't able to even get the dogs out of the kennel to take for walks. That's where we come in. And we come in, I walk the dogs. I come in once or twice a week for about maybe 6 hours a week, and I make sure that all the dogs are walked. And it gets them out of the kennel for a little while. It gets them outside in some fresh air. Take them in the side yard, let them run around a little bit and play with a toy. And of course, I carry my bag of treats, and I like to treat them to death, and get them as much treats as they can because they don't get that much during the day. So I think by them getting out, and it helps them out.
So Michael and Lenny, what would you say if somebody wanted to help the shelter in maybe a volunteer capacity but not actually come into the shelter?
Yeah, what they can do is I know they can call the shelter and find out like what supplies are needed. That I know that they can call the shelter and say, I have all this stuff from my previous dog. Would you guys be willing to take it? Of course, the shelter's going to take it. They're not going to turn away those things. I also believe that they have an Amazon page. They can actually go in to their Peninsula Regional Animal Shelter wish list, purchase those items, and those items will be shipped directly to the shelter.
Lenny, how can somebody help maybe from another standpoint, from a home or work environment? Maybe they can't come into the shelter for whatever reason.
Yeah, and sometimes people can't make an ongoing commitment. So we do sometimes have special projects that need to be done. So if you have a sorority group or you're with the military, one year they came and built outside kennels. Another time they came and painted and made treat cups that we could hang on the enclosure so that we could offer animals treats. So there's special projects like that. Or perhaps you can do translations. We'd love to translate some of our contracts into Spanish because we have Spanish-speaking guests. Or maybe you're particularly good at grant writing or creating educational or promotional materials. Those are things that you could do with just a couple of meetings with you or myself and help us create some of the things that we give out. So there's all kinds of special projects that you could do. Research some information for us. So that's just a question of contacting me at the shelter or contacting you and seeing what we need and what they can match up with.
Okay. Thank you. If you have any additional questions or would like some more information on our programs at the shelter, you can come down and find us at 5843 Jefferson Avenue, Newport News, Virginia, 23605. Our phone number is 757-933-8900. And our website is www.peninsulaanimalshelter.com.